What's going on, everybody? GumbleFan15 here, and today I've got a very special review for you. This is the 1/72 scale Blade Liger AB Bang version. Over on Krasama's channel, he's hosting a theme this month, and the theme is Zoids. And Zoids is what actually got me into Mecha long ago, long before Gundam did. So I thought, what better way to honor that than to do my absolute favorite Zoid, the Blade Liger. And I gave this thing a full paint job from top to bottom, did a lot of detail painting on it, and I absolutely love how it turned out. Now, this is not the Kotobukiya version. This is a bootleg from a company called Black Knight. Didn't have the money to pay for shipping for the actual Kotobukiya version, so picked this one up for a lot cheaper. Now, this is the first actual Zoid I've ever built. I mean, I did the toys long ago, back when they first came out, the motorized ones. But I was actually surprised with the amount of parts that were in this kit. It's the first time building something other than Gunpla, and it was actually very interesting. It actually reminds me of a very scaled down Mechanicore kit. There's a lot of tiny parts that you're not even really gonna see, but they're very detailed and they're slapped on. But it was pretty cool. Now, this is a very articulated kit. If you think it can move on here, it pretty much can. From its head all the way to its tail, it has a lot of moving parts on it. The vents alone have, I think, 3 or 4 points of articulation. The thrusters, the attack boosters, whatever, have a lot of articulation. And with this being painted, everything's pretty tight right now, so I'm not gonna move it around. If you want to see everything moved around, I recommend trying to find a more detailed video on that. But I will say the points on this that are articulated but do have some problems, up at the front here, this piece that goes, I guess, would move up to go with its shield being activated. I think it's, let's see, 1, 2, like 3 or 4 pieces right here that get pushed down onto the frame. It's very tight, and I ended up having to glue this. Now, this does move a little bit, but not a whole lot. Like, it doesn't stick straight up like you would see in the anime. So there's that. The other problem I had, the main body is actually composed of 3 different block units that are connected by ball and socket. And the front one, the connection was so tight to try and push in that I ended up having to cut a little bit off of the ball joint to push it in. And once I did that, once it got past the small opening, it got very loose in there. So yours may not be like that, but that's what I ended up having to do with mine. And also on the thrusters right here, once it comes back around, the little pistons right here, the pegs that point out that hold it in, are very tiny, and it's very easy to, when you're moving it around, for those things to pop off. So just be careful of that. The other problem I had was with this leg right here. It ended up being very, very loose compared to the other 3 legs that are actually kind of tight. So if yours is like that, I would recommend maybe painting on a little bit of some clear nail polish, or just spray on some clear coat. Maybe just add up just a little extra layer. And the tail section right here, there was 1 point on it that was actually very, very tight, so I ended up having to shave that down in order to even get it pushed in. There is one other problem that I had. The attack booster here, this piece here is actually part of the cannon that can slide out, and even if you weren't to paint this, it is still very hard to slide this mechanism in and out. Like, once it slides out, it should stick out about that far, and like I really have to pull and yank on it just to get it to slide out, because there's a whole lot going on the inside of this. What I've done paint-wise, the blue is in to me, a metallic blue. The inner frame is what you would call it, all the gray, that's in, to me, a gunmetal. The white is in a tester's pearlescent white. The red up here along the pipes, that's in the tester's pearlescent red, and the little gold trim you see along those, that is in the E7 red gold. The black is just the Alcad gloss black base. I never knew what you call these things. They're not pistons, I don't think, but all these little bits here all along it, those are just in the Alcad chrome. And the other golds that I've used, the gold here along the blade, that's in the E7 red gold also. And the claws and its teeth, those are in just regular E7 gold. And I did a little bit of detail painting. All the pistons, they're in copper and silver. And up here along its thrusters here and down here, just a little bit of gold, silver, and a little bit of red. So as far as problems go with this kit, aside from the fitting issues, there are a couple little things. The seam lines are not that bad, at least not to me, on most of this kit. There are a few that kind of stick out like a sore thumb. The biggest offenders are going to be the thrusters here on the sides, these white pieces. These are two pieces clamped together, and it is just horrible. It really is just a horrible seam line. Most of the time I don't care, but those are horrible. And the whiskers up in here, all the blue pieces are actually two pieces clamped together. The small ones aren't that bad, but these big ones up here, those are a major problem. And I think the rest are pretty well hidden. Other problems I had, getting these top whiskers in. They actually go in from the bottom of this piece up through the top, and once I got them painted, obviously that was kind of hard to push through. But even if you weren't to paint it, it was pretty hard to get this piece up, this part up here through first, because this is a lot thicker than the bottom part is. So what I ended up having to do was do a lot of shaving along the inside right there in order to get it pushed through. I also forgot to mention, you do get two little pilot figures in there. They're supposed to be Van and Fiona, but they're both shaped exactly the same way. And you actually had to assemble the pilot figures. It comes with legs, head and torso, and arms that actually get pushed together. It's a first for me ever having to actually assemble pilot figures. And the one in the back, which would be Fiona, is pretty well damn hidden. So even if you were to want to paint them, to me it'd be kind of pointless to paint Fiona in the back because you can't even see her. But I'm guessing because this is, produced by a third party, they can't actually have them shaped the right way, because they're both exactly identical. They both have what looks like helmets on. You get those, and unfortunately it comes with a sheet of stickers, which are horrible. I didn't use a single one on this kit, but it looks just as well without them. Two other little things that I forgot to mention. One, there are springs, just regular metallic springs along the legs, and I think they add some pretty cool detail to the legs. And also, inside the middle section, there is a removable Zoid core, which is comprised of, just 3 or 4 parts, as well as a a red orb, which is the core itself. I don't know why, but I painted it, and it was kind of pointless because it's never going to be removed, so what was the point? So final thoughts. If you can pick this kit up, I'd actually recommend it. Just know you're going to have a challenge ahead of you. If you're not one for a challenge, try the Kotobukiya version. I'm sure that one is a lot easier to put together than this one was. You know, it probably won't have as many fitting issues. I've never built any kind of Kotobukiya kit, so, you know, I can't really speak to it, but with that being said, I would also definitely recommend painting it up, because the colors that it comes molded in are kind of lackluster to me. But once you put some love into this and, you know, put some paint on it, you're gonna have a very beautiful kit that has a lot of shelf presence once you got it completed. And that's definitely what this thing has. And it is going to take up a lot of space on my shelf because of the blades extended out to the side, but I got the room. So with that being said, don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe. As always, there are links in my description to my Facebook page, The New Type Builder, as well as my Instagram page. Make sure to go check those out. And with that, see you guys next time.